Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And somebody sent me this picture, and this picture is it looks like it's a picture of a video where somebody was, and I actually looked it up, and somebody showed how to trace this. And the person asked, well, how could you just draw it? And I did it two different ways. Well, I did it one way, and I think there's another way. I actually the other day I made a box, so I can see a six-sided polygon in a circle in this drawing. So I used my cube method, but I'm going to just try a six-sided polygon. Even though it doesn't, at first it doesn't look like it's going to be three-dimensional, but it's because these objects are coming off of it at a 3-dimension. So let's hit P, put that in the center of the page. Let's go ahead and put an ellipse around it just so we can get a ballpark. And then let's make our polygon a little bit bigger by holding down the shift button, just about like that. Now the problem is we can do two things. We need a box to get this shape. So I use my cube method, but we're just going to use a 2-point line, and we're going to have to draw a line from there to there, and then a line from there to there, and then a line from there to there. And then we can delete this top line, and we've got a cube, kind of a 3-dimensional cube. So I drew a cube, so you are going to have to start off with some sort of cube. It's just, instead of just a six-sided polygon. So we're going to take the Smart Fill tool and we're going to fill that in. We're going to left click and right click. I'm going to go to Effects, Contour. We're going to contour the inside 0.2. We're going to go to Object and break contour apart. We're going to take this contour and move it out of the way. Now we're going to take a circle. It doesn't have to be very big. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to move all this out of the way and put this in the center of the page and put this in the center of the page. That might have messed us up. I shouldn't have done that. Let's nudge it. Yeah, we can't move this, but we can create this first. And then just take a short little stub, hit P. All the reason I'm doing this to get it in the center of the page, to get my little drawing in the center of the page. And then we can bring that down. We don't need it very long. We're going to take the virtual segment delete key and delete that. I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in and nudge it out of the way. Left click, right click. Well, we could leave it a color for right now. But because we've nudged, I think we can put, no, I remember we didn't nudge, we moved. So I'm going to just put it in the center. And I wonder if we can select them all and hit E. See if it moved. Yep, CE. Now we're going to take this object and go to Add Perspective. And we're going to go from that corner to that corner to that corner to this corner. And this is why I made a box smaller than the original box, so we couldn't get there. So let's nudge this back up and nudge this over. I actually didn't make my box probably big enough, but it's good enough. Now we can take this and delete. Just hit delete on your keyboard and take that box away. Now, holding down the control button, move it down just a little bit past the line. I probably made my circle a little bit too big. Get the virtual segment delete key and delete those two lines. Now take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. Control D and make a duplicate of the Smart Fill and move it to the center of our box. rotate it 120 degrees. Control D. We're well on our way. Let's take this and nudge it out of the way. Nudge it, I'm just using the right arrow button. Matter of fact, we can just delete this. We no longer need it. And we're going to nudge these back. We're going to take a little rectangle, because if you notice, there's some spacing between the colors, and we need that void. I'm not going to pay too much attention to the size of the rectangle, but I'm going to move it to the center of the page. And if you notice, it's right on my center of my item. I'm not going to Control D at it because I don't need that, but I'm going to move the rotation to that should work right there. And I'm going to move it 60 degrees. Try to get it right in the middle. If you look, 60 degrees. Now, let's Control D and move it 180 degrees, which would be 120. And you see what I'm doing here. Now all we need to do is let's take our colors out of the way for a second. And just we don't really have to do this, but we cut this down. Now, there is a way we could do this, but I'm going to do it probably the easiest for most folks, I hope. And I'm going to take my object and I'm going to left click, right click. And then I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key, see if I can't delete that. This is probably the easiest, because I don't need those lines. Oh, I do too for the colors. No, I don't, because we're going to color the outside. The inside of the box is white. All I want is these lines. They're going to stop the color. Now, doesn't really matter. I'm going to smart fill this one in green. I'm going to go ahead and smart fill them all in green. But then I'm going to take this one and go over and get it blue. Take this one and make it red. And in that short a time, we drew that. Now it's a white background because the fact that it's a white page, but it's all transparent. Go to order back a page. So it's a transparent object basically in the middle, but it looks like it's and this one's probably a little bit better just because of the size of the holes. I actually think this one equally, now it's different. Mine's, they've got it coming up from this side and I've got it coming up from this side. But that's one way or the other. It didn't matter. I could have moved that circle to the right instead of to the down. But it does kind of give an optical illusion of whatever that is. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.